we didn't execute. We failed to execute, and didn't capitalize on the moments that we had, especially in the red zone. And it's against a team like that who's well coached and well disciplined. You can't cruise that. You can't allow those errors, especially on offense, to go missed opportunities.
We are back to actually being between the vines.
Yeah.
With Tra Todd. Following up this week's devastating ass kicking.
And ass kicking.
Yeah.
Definitely
gave us some things to ponder.
Yeah, it's a lot to ponder. We want to start off with a little positivity first because we have to cheers.
We have to cheers to open the show.
Yeah, we have to cheers, All right, so. All right.
Let's get
Florida State.
Yeah, let's hop out of Philly for a minute.
Yeah, let's get
Florida
out of
State. Congratulations to
Florida
your
State,
alma mater.
My alma mater. You know what I'm saying?
Undefeated season.
Then
not in the playoffs.
Not in the playoffs. So they got shut out of the playoffs. All right. So
that would irk me, but all in all, I think it was the right decision.
Yeah.
It's a tough decision for this.
That's a tough decision to make. Of course, you want to say, all right, you know what? You went undefeated. At least give them a chance to play for it. Even though
it sucks that you win every game and you don't get a chance to
you don't get a chance to play for it, but it sucks. But hey, all right, you know what? You went undefeated. You had an undefeated season.
Great season.
Congratulations to them.
What else we got?
The sun came out today.
The sun came out today. And it's Dallas week.
Cheers. All right.
Actually, wait. Let's back up that. Okay. I do have one to add.
Okay.
Because I do feel like Lane and crew up front, and we can get into this later, I feel like they battled their ass off.
Yes.
A very good game up front.
Lane coming back, his groin was healed. And he did a really good job against Bosa. So cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
All right, cool.
Something bringing us from full circle back to the
some
football.
Positivity, you know what I'm saying, just to start us off. Okay, so first of all, we're at Setter Ridge Vineyards.
Setter Ridge.
All right, yes, so Setter Ridge Vineyards.
We grow all of our own grapes. Our wines are more along the lines of the European style, so you get to enjoy a variety of Riesling and Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Franc, and kind of a little bit of everything in between.
Town, Pennsylvania,
it is
beautiful.
Gorgeous. The terrain, the old farms, the tiny little town you drive through. I saw they were giving free subs out to people named like Agnes and Harold today at this one store I drove by.
So you just had to show up and just your name. If your name is Agnes and Harold, you get a sub.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But they call them subs up here. They're not hoagies anymore.
This is different out here. I thought that, especially when you get back here, and it's what I'm looking for when I do a lot of these back roads, when you get some of these 2-lane roads. Now, when you do get off the highway, I thought I was like, all right, I need to reuse the restroom. All right, I was thinking, all right, surely once you get off the highway, there's an exit or something there, some gas station. No, there was nothing. There was like a sand gravel thing that was there or something. And that was
Did you
it.
use that?
No. You just had to just go ahead, tighten everything up, and just keep pushing it.
Clench and drive.
Just clench and drive. But once you get out here, just a beautiful, beautiful vineyard, man. Just a
another
nice
nugget that the Keystone State has to offer.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. All right. So what is this?
So this is a Sauvignon Blanc, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It is tasty.
It is very tasty. I like this.
I'm trying to figure out if this is oak aged. It's got to be, right?
It does have like a little, it seems like it would have like a little
I could be wrong.
to it, but yeah, we could possibly
Let's see here.
Wrong.
Fermented and aged in neutral oak.
Exactly, and that's what, our palate is starting to get there, dude. Like, we're starting to pick up on all of this.
Yeah. So young pineapple and a hint of herbaceousness is what we got in the description.
I like that.
Here. And I think that's right on the head.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good wine.
It's light-bodied.
Mm-hmm. It's light-bodied, like a Jake Elliott.
Like a Jake Elliott.
A Slim.
Yeah.
The Slim Reaper body.
Slim Reaper body.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
He had a good game, too.
Mm-hmm. The Slim Reaper is amazing. All right, so now let's get into this game.
Yeah.
There was a lot of trash talk. San Fran came out here, and not to sound like these kids, because, whenever I want to use a term, I go into the Urban Dictionary to pull it out just to make sure I'm using it right.
Okay. Can't wait to hear this.
Can't wait. San Fran stood on their business.
Yes, that is the new term.
That is the new term. standing on business.
They definitely stood on their
They
business.
stood on their business.
Oh, man.
San Fran came out there. They were talking all kinds of trash. Debo was talking all crazy, like, hey, man, I'm not taking anything back. I said what I said. You know, I'm standing on my business. So before I even move into this a little bit more, let's just talk about what the Urban Dictionary has as standing on business. Because I always use the Urban Dictionary whenever I want to do this. So short definition is take care of your business. All right. And then the long definition is when faced with the situation, you are urged to handle your own affairs. And then man, dude, the Urban Dictionary is hilarious when it comes to this type of stuff. So they said, okay, whatever abbreviation AY, it says quibbly. What happened to your hoe? HOE.
What happened to her?
What happened to your significant other? All right. So the answer to this is F that B. I'm standing on business. All right. So there you go. Well, San Fran stood on their business.
San Fran did stand on their business. They came out and they talked the talk, they walked the walk, and they stood on their business.
And it just seemed like San Fran came in there with a totally different energy. Yeah, we're going to talk it, and they came out here and they did it. Debo came out. He did not fair catch not one kickoff.
I caught wind that Sirianni put together a trash talk highlight.
Yes.
And said, take it personal and like play with emotion tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, that's a gamble. Because it's hard to play with emotion for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And when they first came out the gates, they looked great. And they looked very emotional and they were charged. But it doesn't last all game. You need to have a solid game plan. And you got to, to be honest, I feel like we just saw we could touch on this later. But yeah, you're right. The emotion was not, I don't think it was the correct angle. Because we were obviously saw how an experienced play caller with creativity, you know, just outmatched our play calling at this game.
Absolutely.
Before we get into that any deeper,
yes,
let's stand on our business.
Let's stand on our business.
And hear from our sponsors,
yes,
our presenting sponsors, Life Brand.
Yes.
Let's face it, we've all posted things we regret. That's why we created Life Brand. Life Brand connects all of your social media accounts and then scans them for potentially compromising posts. With just a few clicks, you can delete old, potentially harmful social media posts so they're gone for good. It's fast, easy, and protects your privacy. Stay in control of your online reputation. Visit lifebrand.life today.
All right.
While we start talking about offensive game planning and stuff, let's check out this.
Oh, you're going to give it? Now, you know I would tear a name up. And it's in cursive? Oh, man.
Oh, right there.
Is that a J?
It's a 21 Semillon?
Is it? That's a S?
Semillon. Semillon.
So Semillon is a little bit a lesser known grape. We actually have that really pretty stone fruit feel that comes across with it. It's a little bit fruitier, a little bit more rounded.
Semillon.
Says, enjoy the honey and stone fruit on the nose of this Bordeaux grape.
Okay, there we go, man. So here we go.
Hey.
Cheers. There we go. Yeah, that's a stone fruit.
It's a stone fruit.
Yeah.
We just learned to put that in the vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy good stone fruit, especially around when they're ripe in the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
The peaches and apricot, yeah, absolutely. It's a very good wine. I like that.
You know what I see here in the description? It says a slight minerality on the palate.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but I feel that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can learn about that later.
Absolutely. We'll talk to them about that. But, man, just going back to the game, man, I thought that, like, when you said that Sirianni pulled out the film.
The emotion card?
Of everybody, hey, they talking trash. Look at all the trash talk that they're talking. I want you guys to take this personally. And, you know, one thing that I learned as a player, it's hard to keep that type of anger feeling going throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to have that in the first quarter, but, you know, as things continue, you got to kind of have something else that you can fall back on. And they had nothing else.
Well, not everybody is at this level. Not everybody's an emotional player. You know what I mean? Like, I was not a guy that if I got angry, I played well.
Yeah.
If I got angry, I got out of balance. I was trying to punch too hard. I was leaning. At the professional level, I think it's just an interesting angle.
Yeah.
You know, it was definitely a gamble. And they came out the gates, they looked great, you know, except for the stalling in the red zone. But the defense looked hot. But like what we were saying, I really think that you just saw a little bit of inexperience in the play calling. The play calling just seemed a little vanilla to me. Like I said, I thought the O-line was blocking well. I thought that Hurts had quite a bit of time, but nobody was just getting open. And then it seemed like it turned into, you know, playground ball.
Yeah.
And then he's just trying to, like, you know, point to the receiver as to where to go and buy time and roll out to the sideline and then throw it away.
Yeah. First of all, I thought, like, just to talk about defense, like you said, beginning of the game, they were on fire. I even tweeted out, man, defense is on something different. I mean, they were out of control. And you knew at some point San Fran was going to be the type of team that they were going to keep chugging along. Offensively, when you can't score in the red zone, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
When you get down there, you have to settle for field goals.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah, that's a problem. You know, when you need to be able to score in those situations, and then especially when San Francisco just continues to chug along and they're putting up points on the board, and you know, and you go into halftime, you're down 14-6, and you're like, man, you know, you can feel the energy starting to suck out of the stadium. Because I actually went to this game, and just being able to sit in there and just start to feel the energy just suck out of the stadium, you know, you didn't have that vibe that you can just kind of feed off of. You needed to have guys that can come out there and make plays, and they just didn't have it.
Right. There's a lot of things you could point at. You know, we could talk about the linebacker situation. We could talk about some non-calls that were in important game and moments and stuff, but I think, you know, you put a couple, you know, superior linebackers in there, I still think we don't lose this game. I just don't think the creativity is there on offense at this point. I think I think that they need to work on, and I don't know what you do with that if you bring a consultant in, but I think it's kind of been a pattern all year.
Yeah.
You know, you've had your players just like making plays and coming up and being big. And yeah, there's been some games where we've been able to grind it out and the run games look great and stuff like that. But I think, you know, we just saw the inadequacy here versus, especially, the game got me hyped. I was emotional too. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the 49ers. I'm looking at each of them and how they're acting and stuff. And I'm like, man, fuck these dudes. I hate these guys. Bitch ass. You know, I'm just like, But then, you know, after the game, I'm sitting there and I'm like, kind of, emotions are cooled.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, 'cause, you know, like you said, you can't carry that hate for an entire game.
No, you can't.
And afterwards, I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking like, man, they got some studs.
Yes.
Like Christian McCaffrey.
Man.
You need like 3 guys to bring him down?
Dude, okay. So this is one of the things that, because, you know, you listen to sports talk radio on the way, you know, on the way out and just driving, you know.
You do.
Yeah, well, I do, you know, because I'm just listening, because I want to hear the pulse of what everybody's talking about. You know, I'm listening to Richie and Joe DeCamera, and then I'm listening to Hugh Douglas and, you know, and my guys afterwards, you know, just seeing what everybody's talking about. And I want to hear what the fans' take is on this as well. And, you know, a question that Joe DeCamera asked just rings in my head right now. Do we have the best offensive line in the NFL? Do we still have the best offensive line in the NFL?
Well, you know, I was talking to a former teammate of mine, I'll leave his name out of it, last night about this, and I think that the play calling is unfair to them a little bit right now.
Okay.
And I'm not one of those guys that likes to try to point one thing out, and it sounds like I'm just blaming it all on the play calling today. And there's a lot of things that went into it, but I don't know if it's the absolute best, but we definitely have one of the best.
But when you go back and you look at the production, and you look at what San Fran did compared with their offensive line and how they took the fight to our group.
Especially against a defensive line like ours.
Yeah, you know, I think we have, and I'm just going to be real, I think we have the most popular offensive line.
Well, yeah, they're very popular.
Very popular. Are they the best? At times, yes. But there are times that when you go back and you look at this game, San Fran was the better group. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
They were absolutely the better group. The way they took the run game to us, the way we could not, every time they were getting to the second level, you seen like McCaffrey was just having his way. Once they got out of the first quarter, it seemed like San Fran was like, all right, we got them where we want them. Let's flip the switch. Let's impose our will on this team, and they did that. Now, to get away from our offensive line, I thought that because you always feel like, all right, you know what, the battle is always in the trenches. And I always look at a game like a battle's in the trenches. But I also think that this was a battle of the secondary players as well. And I think that their secondary came to play, ours did not.
I would agree with that. In part, I don't think that anybody's been saying that our secondary is really a strength of our team. And obviously, everybody's questioning the linebacker play and stuff like that. So, yeah, is our D-line really good? Yeah, I think our D-line is really good.
I think we got a good D-line.
And I think they played well yesterday. I think that the reason why you just didn't have any run support at level 2 or 3.
First of all, I felt like we played with a way too much cushion where you're giving these DBs, you're playing off a little too much and you're allowing these nice little easy throws underneath,
And still getting ran by.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then when you do have to come up and make a tackle, you're not making the tackle. You know what I'm saying? You're bouncing off guys. That's something that just can't happen when you're trying to put together a championship caliber team. That can't happen. You got to get these guys down on the field. Coverage has to be there. And I felt like we played way too soft in the secondary compared to when you look at the other side of the ball when San Fran, every time they were challenging our receivers. I mean, how many times did you see the ball getting deflected with A.J. Brown in the backfield or whatever is happening? Yeah. It just seems like their secondary came to play, and then we sit out there and talk all this trash, and Debo is talking all this trash, and he's like, you know what? You put him back there in for the kickoff return, and not one time did he fair catch it.
Right.
He like, you know what? Nah, you know what? I'm coming. I'm coming out of the end zone because I know that y'all really don't want any of this.
Yep.
And he proved it.
Yeah, we could sit here and we could talk negatively about the Eagles, but we also could talk positively about the Niners. They're a good football team.
They're a good team.
They're a good football team.
They're a good team.
And they know they're a good football team. They've been saying it since last year.
Yeah.
Are the Eagles better? They weren't yesterday.
No, not at all.
Not even close.
Not even close. I mean, and this is something that you gotta correct this.
Yeah. I think bottom line is that there's been a lot of weaknesses that you've seen out of the Eagles throughout but they've been able to overcome it with their athletes and stuff. And the Niners have been somebody that came in here and were able to expose those weaknesses and not just expose them, but keep putting their finger in that wound and just digging and digging.
Just dig a little deeper. A little deeper.
Tighten up. You got Dallas this week.
This week. I think you got to get, before we even get any further, let's hear from our sponsor, Pinot's Palette.
So what's the perfect night out? Any night spent at Pinot's Palette. Pinot's Palette. Paint, drink, have fun. Sign up online for your class today.
So here we have the Pinot Noir Rosé 2020. A great year. I don't know about wine though. Yeah, it's a COVID wine.
COVID wine.
That means that they were in here, had lots of time.
Yeah, there were proper spacing.
Harvesting, proper spacing.
You know what I'm saying? Proper
time.
Proper spacing. You had time to kind of let it just do its thing. Everybody had to. What a wild time was that?
Yeah, it really was.
Making it through COVID, dude. That will go down in history. Dude, we made it through a pandemic.
Made it.
Yeah, we made it through a pandemic. Yeah. So let's cheers to that.
Cheers
we made it through a pandemic.
We made it.
Yeah. I like when it's not a super sweet rosé.
Yeah. See, with sweet wine, I feel like I could have a glass of it. It's not something that I could drink multiple glasses of.
All right, so you touched on
however, I could drink multiple glasses.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I like dry rosés.
I wish the fire was cranked a little higher.
That's cool.
But yeah.
Oh, Rachel said that. Hell, it feels amazing outside. Let's do it outside. It's awesome.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
It's keeping me alive.
Yeah, you feel alive.
Getting all my muscles jumping out here.
Yeah, you're good. All right, so now let's talk about this, man.
Yeah, what?
Big Dom.
Yeah.
I'm at the game, so I really didn't see the kerfuffle.
Well, I saw it all, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the kerfuffle.
So we'll just give the rundown of events real quick.
Yeah.
Devontae caught the ball out of bounds over there towards out of bounds. He was not out of bounds. They picked him up and slammed him to the ground. can't blame him for doing that because Devontae was running through tackles earlier.
I mean, first of all, let's talk about Devontae became all of a sudden a power runner.
Yes.
He was running through guys. He was DeAndre Swift.
Yak.
He was, I mean,
Devontae Yak.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting yak. I mean, he was running through guys. I mean, Slim all of a sudden had put on 30 pounds of muscle and was running through guys. So they finished the tackle.
So they were like, we can't just, wrap him up and hope that he goes down. We're going to have to suplex him.
Yeah,
and at that time, everybody's chippy and emotional and stuff. And this is what happens when you get your entire staff fired up on emotion and they don't get to go out there and hit anybody. Well, it looked like, Greenlaw, I believe his name was. Greenlaw or Greenwall? Greenlaw.
Yeah.
Greenwall's from Ace Ventura. Greenwall, hit the lights. Greenlaw was, the one that suplexed him, and he got up, and I'm sure he was like, yeah, take that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he said soft ass boy or something like that.
Or I'm standing on my business.
Maybe he's standing on his business. Yeah. Probably something similar to that.
Something.
And, Devontae got up, and I think Dom was trying to just get in there and keep the separation.
Why? I don't know. Let the referees do that.
Yeah. Well, he's head of security. He's a protector.
But he's a protector.
I know it's not his job. It's not his job.
Yeah.
You can't reach your hand out and touch.
No.
Whether you're walking him back, you just can't do that.
No, you can't.
But the dude felt pressure on his chest, so he tried to. It was a weird like.
Yeah, it was a kind of a I'm going to rub whatever residue that's on my fingers across your lips. like take all of that.
He didn't make contact with his nose.
Yeah, it's like he rubbed it across Dom's lips as to like, here, take that. And,
I was just like, oh, wow, you shouldn't do that to Dom, especially at home.
And then now you got
out of here ASAP, safely on a plane, get him back to San Fran.
Yeah, and then Dom is getting escorted out. What does the NFL do about this? Because I know you let the thing go with the Bills situation.
Well, the Bills thing should have been addressed.
I mean,
you shouldn't be able to go up and especially a dude touches a fan. Like, no matter what they're saying.
But one of the things that someone brought up is that the kid that was down in Miami when Tyreek Hill did when he did the flip. Now Tyreek Hill took the phone from the guy, whatever, did his flip or whatever, and then gave it back to him. This guy had no real interaction. He got suspended for a year. All right, for the rest of the season, his credential has been revoked. He can't get out there on the field. What is the NFL going to do now where Dom gets involved with a kerfuffle on the sideline, touches a player? Like, what do?
I would imagine that the Eagles are going to get fined. So I understand why they tossed him.
Yeah.
I understand why they tossed the player. I didn't think it was warranted, but I understand. It was a great moment. It was very exciting. The stadium gave him a standing ovation as he was being brought out.
Yeah, that's Philly. I mean, everybody's, oh, yeah, Dom, you're awesome.
Trey, was there any point in your career where you got too emotional?
You know what? Yes. One time, all right, so we were playing Washington, LeVar Arrington. And so I knocked him to the ground, and then he was on the ground, and then I went to go finish him. And in my mind, all I hear is Juan finish him, T, finish him. Because Juan was always
gonna run that back in the film.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, T, finish him. And I hit him, knocked him on the ground, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm trying to go finish him.
Some of that extra business.
Yeah. I wanted to give him a little extra side piece. Here, get a little extra side piece of this elbow across your face. And I missed him, and I got fined for $15,000 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Emotional hits the pocketbook.
Yeah. How about yourself?
There was one time I got over emotional in high school, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to give some dudes an extra business after the play went by me. I was just trying to torque him to the ground.
Yeah.
I went to torque him, and I torqued my knee.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was out the game after that. Trying to hurt him, hurt myself.
Hey, that's gotta be the worst.
I was still growing at the moment, but I was so mad at myself.
That's gotta be the worst. Were you trying to hurt him and hurt yourself?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just trying to let him feel dominant.
You were trying to exert your dominance, and
Apparently, my medial collateral ligament was inferior to the dominance I was trying to display.
It wasn't a challenge.
Nah, I was too young, too green.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so what we're moving on here, we have we're moving on to a red. I can pronounce this one. This is a Pinot Noir 2016. It's definitely closer to the dry side.
It's a nice color.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color.
You think that
and
you
which
can
we are
tell
missing
a
right
wine
now.
body from the looks of it?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, you know,
I don't know.
Can we tell
Maybe.
like the wine body? Yeah. So
Hey,
so
hey, cheers to that.
yeah. Cheers to that. We're learning.
That was a good guess.
Yeah, that was an amazing guess. Yeah, we'll hear a little bit more from the makers on this.
So this Pinot Noir is from our vineyard location in Kutztown. So you got a little bit more of that West Coast style with the brighter fruit that comes in and a slight bit of tannin and black pepper on the back end.
So what's your wine word of the day?
I would think that I will go with, since it was in a description earlier,
Mm-hmm.
the minerality of a wine. You're growing in the soil. There's different minerals depending on the geography of where you're at. And what it does is it absorbs, and you can taste that in the grape. And it just probably gives it a different complexity level. I find it enjoyable.
Yeah, it was
You know,
very enjoyable. Minerality. That it is. All right.
Well, anyway,
All right.
today's wine word of the day, minerality, is brought to you by Birds Nesting. Birds Nesting is a real estate and lifestyle service for professional athletes, coaches, and their families. Moving to a new city is a big change and comes with its challenges. Let Birds Nesting assist you in finding the perfect place to live, help settle you and your family into your new community with our connections and trusted recommendations. Please go to birdsnestingphl.com for more information. Birds Nesting.
For easy landing. You know, a blowout game is easy. When you go out there and you just blow some teams out, you know, everything is clicking. But, you know, when you have a game like this, I mean, everything that you're trying just is not working, and it sucks. And you keep going out there and you giving it everything that you have, and it's just like, damn, this isn't working. And I thought that what San Fran did a really good job of, they took away Hurts' first read, and they did a good job of covering. And then when it came to just rushing, all they want to do is rush, because now once you get Hurts to kind of drop outside of the pocket, unless he's going to take off upfield, you know, as long as the coverage is there, we're good. Yeah, you come out of this game, you give up only 3 sacks, but then now you have a situation where Hurts had to leave the game at some point because of a concussion. Now, I went back and I watched that play, and that's when he kind of ran upfield, and he tried to give like a little juke that the linebacker was just like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they kind of converged them, and they made the hit right there, and it really wasn't. To me, I didn't think that it was that bad of a hit where it would have been something where it could have been a concussion issue, but he had to come off the field. Mariota had to come in and do something. His brotherly shove wasn't as effective. It was questionable.
I actually think it was a good spot.
Yeah, it was good. All right. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're not a fan of the brotherly shove, but I will say this: out of the performances put on of the brotherly shove, I think that San Fran executed it better yesterday.
yeah.
You just saw such a bigger surge, and they were almost like, you know what, fuck you, we can do this too.
Yeah, man, let's turn the page on this game, man. We got our ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, we're still in first place. We're,
Still in first place, 10-2.
you know,
What was funny, though, one of the funniest tweets that I saw is that, like, the way they walked in, you know, because
with all the black.
Yeah, and they were like, all right, you know what? Debo did all this trash talking. He came in dressed like Catwoman. That was
Yeah, man, you know, sometimes I just don't understand the style of reach some of these guys go for.
some of the fashion, man. You know, but we're older
Hold
now.
on a second. Let's
Let's get.
As we do this, we can dial back into some of the fashion trends while we were playing, maybe, and see talk about the craziest thing you ever wore, maybe.
Yeah.
We're gonna have, since we didn't mention this earlier, it is National Cab Franc Day.
National Cab Franc Day today.
Not just on the show,
National.
the entire nation.
Yes.
America Cab Franc. So this is a 2021 Cabernet Franc. Oh yeah. Also,
'Cause
you guys
we-
gotta
'cause
like,
we-
subscribe, and comment. And all
Yeah,
that
like,
stuff.
subscribe, comment.
We're supposed to say it in the beginning of the show too.
That's okay.
We just jumped into it.
Yeah, it's all right. You know,
We're not very good at that.
forgive us. We get to it. All right, so here we go. So fashion.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the one thing that comes to mind for me
Yeah.
is the walking suits.
The walking
Do you
suits.
remember the walking
Oh, the
suits?
two pieces?
The little two piece. Like, you got like a nice. First of all, everything is oversized,
Oh, everything was 8X.
but you had the crispiest creases ever,
yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah, dude, like, I mean,
You might even throw a couple pleats on that.
oh yeah, everything was a two-piece. You know,
Or like a Steve Harvey suit with
dude.
like 6 buttons.
12-button suit. Yeah, where the jacket almost went to the knee. You know, and then
I felt like I was the cleanest person on the planet, bro.
Man, I thought I was a big and tall model. You couldn't tell me I wasn't clean.
Nah,
when I got on all these buttons. I mean, it was like a triple breast suit with a double breast vest. Oh yeah, with a double breast vest. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so, oh man, oh, this is so. And I'm sorry, Corey. You know, Corey Simon. You know, because you know, getting on the plane for us could be a make or break of what you just spent a lot of money on. You know, as far as your whole tailored outfit. You know, and
yeah,
so
I just dropped, you know, 5 to 10 racks.
Yeah, just about like 10 grand on this outfit on the.
Let's see how the team takes it. Because it's either like you're looking at your mirror in the mirror, and you're either thinking like, "Ooh, I'm gonna kill him with
this is gonna work,"
or you're like, "That's risky. We'll see how this goes."
We're gonna see how it goes. So you know, B-Dog at one time and his body type is very conducive.
Could wear anything he wants.
He can wear anything he wants. So he came out with this suit combination where it had a belt that would go around the jacket.
Around the jacket.
Yeah, so he had like a belt that was
like a Travis Kelce Saturday Night Live scarf belt thing.
Yeah, so you know, so it was like a belt tie into the suit. And so, man, I guess Corey Simon saw this, and he
was like, I like that. I like that. I think I could do that.
I think I could pull this off. And so he had his tailor make several of these suits with the belt tie. And my guy, when he got on the plane with Hugh Douglas and the rest of us on that plane, man, oh, dude, you had to set fire to him. It was so bad.
The moment he stepped on.
Oh, dude, like it was over, man.
What year was it for him? What year was it for him?
I don't know.
He wasn't also carrying Popeyes, was he?
Oh, yeah, he probably was. It was probably like his first, second year. But, man, like, dude, he got on the plane, and he had on one of them B-Dog suits, man. And, boy, by the time everybody got done with him, it was like, dog, you know you can't wear that no more. So you just spent 10 grand.
Throw it away.
Oh, yeah, you gotta set fire to it. You got to go ahead and donate it.
Either that or put it on auction.
Whatever you got to do.
Charity.
But you can't wear it to the sea. You can't wear it. When it comes to fashion, you know, you got to
stay in your lane.
You got to stay in your lane, you know. Like, everybody can't, like, a Kelsey can't pull off what Slim can wear.
Kelsey doesn't give a fuck.
No, you know, he's in jeans and flip-flops and a T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that works for him.
Like a fleece?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, like, big guys, you can't get out there and look at what Slim Reaper is wearing and feel like, you know what, I could pull that off. No.
It took me some time to find my groove.
Yeah, you got to, you know. Because you get in there, you come in and you see how Troy, like for me, it was Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor, and, you know, B-Dog and them. And, I mean, they coming in there clean. So I'm like, man, I'm going to get me a 2-piece. And, you know, I'm coming in.
That's what I came. I saw you guys dressed like that. I was like, damn, that looks really comfortable. I think that's the way to go.
These tailored 2-piece suits. Man, that was so terrible.
Looking like a clown.
Yeah, it was awful, man. Everybody like, dog, we look like 80s gangsters, like 70s gangsters. Like, you know, everybody got on the Zook suits.
Yeah, the pinstripes were big. And then the color-coordinated pins. And then also the two-tone collar to shirt.
Yeah.
Like the white collar, pink shirt, pink pins.
And some gaiters.
Looking like Capone.
Yeah,
some pink gaiters and something like that.
We had to have gaiters. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so, they were all rapping about it at the time.
I was deep into the gator game, man. I had gators where they had the tail of them things on the top of it, man. It was so terrible, dude. Like it was.
Well,
like,
you were from Florida, so it takes on a whole different meaning.
I mean, you know, like it looked like the gator tail, and it had the ridges where it had the humps on the top.
Like right down the
right down
spine?
the middle of the shoe. Like it had the spine of the gator on the shoe. It was terrible, dude. Like it was so awful.
Made for you with baby gators.
Yeah, baby. So awful. Terrible fashion choices, but you know, it was what we did.
You know. And look at you now.
Hey, look at me now.
You look great. Got the cable knit sweater.
Yeah. It just
nice pork pie hat.
Yeah, and just get on through, man. Just be comfortable.
Isn't it funny? Last week I did pork pie hat, you did Jeff Cap, and then we just flip it this week without even calling.
Yeah, without even calling it. Yeah, it's not even coordinated. This is just how we are.
We are joined with the owner of beautiful Setter Ridge Vineyards, Missy Wilson. The wine has been delicious. The fire has been a bonus, you know, and why don't you tell us a little bit how you wound up here in Kutztown growing wine?
Sure thing. So we're actually family owned and operated. It's my parents, and then there's actually 5 of us kids. I'm involved on a daily basis. My other brother is involved, in the background doing a lot of different things as well. And my father's also started the business, always wanted to be a farmer, and decided the best way to become a farmer is to plant grapes. So the grapes then turned into wine, which then turned into us buying this piece of property back in 2007. And since then we've planted about 24 acres of grapes on this site here. And we have our original vineyard, which hosts about 2 or 3 acres right now.
Wow, that's awesome. I did notice while we were driving up the beautiful drive that your rows are not all planted in the same direction.
No. So we have a couple different locations and a bunch of different blocks. And it's all really based on the type of varietal you're growing. White wines don't need as long of a growing season, so you can kind of plant them towards the top of the hill. We kind of have a little bit of a slope, not facing the south, but facing the north, and it's okay because it gets warm enough, it'll ripen, it's great. We have a beautiful steep slope as you go down, southern facing slope, which means you get full amount of sunshine. So that's perfect for our heavier reds. We grow Cabernet Franc, we grow Tannat, and we grow Petit Verdot, and we have a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon we've been kind of playing with a little bit.
So we're drinking the Wedding Cuvée, which is this 2021.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure thing. So our Wedding Cuvée is actually the original wine that this was made for was my brother and I both got married, not to each other, but 5 weeks apart.
Good.
5 weeks apart from each other.
Wow, we are.
We are in rural Pennsylvania. You never really know what you get. 5 weeks apart from each other, and we created a wine for our weddings.
Okay.
That was back in 2006. Since then, we've kind of put this Bordeaux blend out on exceptional years. We actually haven't had one released for quite some time, and this we're really excited about because it's our first wedding cuvée that is completely estate grown. We grow it's Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Franc, Tannat, and Petit Verdot is blended in this. So it's a Bordeaux style blend, really nice, big, full, heavy, and we've grown all the grapes ourselves.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, bonus wine word, could you explain to us what a cuvée is?
Cuvée is just a French word that means blend. So basically, anytime you see cuvée, it just literally
Fancy.
is a fancy word for blend.
All
The French
right.
make
To trick
everything-
us Americans.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah,
If you're
so-
looking at a blender or cuvée, you're kind of like, oh,
Exactly.
cuvée sounds
Sounds
expensive.
really
Yeah.
great. So literally nothing special, just a blend.
All right,
So what can we
cool.
expect from this?
So this is definitely going to be a little bit fuller, a little bit heavier. 21 was a great growing year for us. You got exceptional fruit off of it, very ripe. So you are going to pull in those really nice tannins, which is that like big, heavy, a little bit of that bitter astringency that comes in. But you're also going to bring in that really pretty fullness. So you're going to get that nice bit of fruitiness, but it's really going to be that bigger, heavier, fuller wine for people who like something a little bit more robust.
All right, cool.
All right, well,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
It is beautiful. It's a beautiful view. It's a beautiful drive.
Yes.
Get on out here and check it out.
Come check it out.
Thanks again.
All right.
Thank you,
Yeah. Thank
guys.
you.
Great.
All right.
Empty glasses.
Cheers. Thank you. All right.